10th, 2025. And this is my mock draft for the Detroit Lions post-combine at the start of free agency. Now, just to preface, we already re-signed Derrick Barnes at the Sam linebacker. And we have not re-signed Kevin Zeitler. Probably will not sign Carlton Davis. So we are maybe in need of a starting guard. Christian Mahogany is there, but we need a guard on the other side as well. Graham Glasgow plays guard and center. We do have some other players such as Awosika, Scoresdale, Michael Neese that also play guard. But we're going to need probably another guard and maybe a backup center. So maybe a dual player in that regard. On the free agent market, there is Mekhi Becton, who plays for the Eagles. He's 26 years old. I don't think they're going to let him go, but it's a possibility. Kevin Zeitler's 35, so he may not come back. I hope that we do bring him back. As far as other free agents, I think we should look at. I definitely think we should look at Chase Young for sure. I think he'll be a nice defensive end on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson. I think it'll benefit him to be the other Batman to Batman or the Robin to Batman. We could also look at Josh Sweat, but I think he's going to command a little more money. He's also a little bit older. Josh Sweat is 28. Chase Young's 26. As far as cornerbacks, we could look at bringing Darius Slay back. I think that'd be great. I was sad when the regime ran him out of town, but he got a Super Bowl ring, and he can bring that experience back to Detroit. There's also Byron Murphy, who's available. Paulson Adebo, both 26, 27, 26 respectively. Asante Samuel, 25. So there's some people out there. A lot of people mocking DJ Reed to us. He's 28. He's only 5'9". I would think that we can just stick with our cornerback that we have, Amik Robertson, who's proven, tested, knows the system, and is about the same size. So I liked Amik Robertson on the outside, but we need some other corners as well. So with that being said, also Zedarius Smith, we did release him. I hope that we re-sign him as well. You can't have too many defensive ends. From what I hear, they released him to get rid of some dead money against the cap or something like that. So they can always re-sign him again. I hope that they do. I think he was a wonderful addition. He always made me mad when he played for the Vikings and the Packers. So to have him back, I think he did a fine job in our run with our depleted defensive linebackers, and secondary. So without further ado, we're going to get to the draft. Our main needs in the draft, of course, are always defensive end, defensive line, but also the secondary. We need some help. We also need some help in the interior line and maybe some help with our linebacking core as well. Maybe tighten that up a little bit. So many of my mocks have had Jihad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama, Jeremiah Stewart. I even have one that has Nick Emanawari, the safety out of South Carolina. He's a big safety, 6'3", 220, runs a 4.33, maybe as a defensive weapon, or a linebacker / safety, kind of in the mode of Jeremy Chin. But on this segment, I have decided to go with Nick Skirton, defensive end out of Texas A&M. He's 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", 285. He played at Purdue. Got nice tape there. His tape with Texas A&M wasn't as good, but there's a lot of talent down there with Jeremiah Stewart as well on the other side. So Nick Skirton, he has the length, the speed. He has moves to be, and he's stout against the run. So a great defensive end to pair with Aiden Hutchinson. His 40 time is not available, but he looks to be in the 4.6, 4.7 range, somewhere in that area. So our next pick, we have our homegrown talent out of West Bloomfield, Maxwell Hairston, cornerback out of Kentucky, 5'11", 183, runs a 4.28 40. So he's got a little smaller on the prototypical. He's not quite the prototypical size, but cornerbacks come in all shapes and sizes. That 5'11", 5'9" to 5'11" is kind of making the comeback. that 6'3" cornerback is doing his thing too, but they're in different situations. So why not have a fast guy who can cover some speedy receivers, or maybe even help in the slot? So Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky at cornerback at pick number 60 in round 2. Round 3, I have the Lions taking Barrett Carter, linebacker out of Clemson. He's 6'2", 224, runs a 4.58 40. No, 4.55 40. He's got some speed. He's got some sideline to sideline. He'd be a nice will linebacker, maybe to back up Anzalone, maybe to learn his craft under him, and even spell him, because Anzalone is getting a little older too. Round 4, pick number 132. I have the Detroit Lions getting that XY receiver that we need. We don't really have a true X. We have Tim Patrick, but X wide receivers are a little bit taller. They're a little bit more red zone threat. They're also like a boundary receiver. We've got the slots. We've got our Z's. We got our Y, who is Sam Laporta. So, Tim Patrick's the only one out there. Perhaps Allen Robinson, but we need a future or true X receiver. And then Donte Thorton is 6'5", 205, runs a 4.3 40 out of Tennessee. Has some pretty good tape, but his numbers look really good, and his size for his speed ratio, I think it's something that the Lions could definitely utilize at the X. I'm sorry. And round 5, pick number 198, have the Lions selecting Dylan Fairchild, guard/center out of Georgia, 6'5", 315. Like I said earlier, Graham Glasgow, Frank Ragnow. We need some backups behind them in case they're injured, and just people to learn the craft underneath. Keep the offensive line strong like it's been. That's been one of our strengths, and we need to continue that. Christian Mahogany's done great filling in for Zeitler when he was hurt. Taylor Decker, Penei Sewell, of course, nothing else to be said about them. We just got to work on that guard center area due to injuries or age. So Dylan Fairchild out of Georgia, round 5. Round 7, we don't have a round 6. Round 7, I have us taking Caleb Ransaw, a cornerback/safety out of Tulane, 6 foot, 196, has 4.33 speed. We can use him. Use him as a backup safety. He can be corner depth, special teams as a gunner with that speed. So a nice project player who can, basically get in where he fits in our scheme. And we definitely need depth at corner. Round 7, 230, I kind of went with the hometown thing again. We don't need another running back, but a running back can do so many things in kickoff, kick return, special teams. Also filling in if there's injuries. He's kind of more of a cross between Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Kind of has a little bit more of a scat back type. He's a little taller, 5'11", 205, runs a 4.4 40. From West Bloomfield, played at Michigan. I think it'd be a great addition to our backfield rotation, especially with injuries and as much as we run. So we got Vaki back there. We got Craig Jones. Of course, we got Montgomery and Gibbs. So he'd be a nice addition, I think, to that backfield rotation. And finally, round 7, pick 246, I have the Detroit Lions selecting Jay Higgins, linebacker out of Iowa. He's 6'2", 232, 4.8 speed. So he's a little bit slower than we would like, but also, he can play that middle linebacker. He can be a backup to Campbell. Those middle linebackers don't have to be as fast. They just have to be able to take on those blocks. And so, when you're looking at your linebacking core, you got your strong side who can maybe rush the passer at times. You got your weak side who can run sideline to sideline, and your middle guy's got to be able to fill. So he can possibly play either one of those positions, the will or the middle, the Mike, and add depth to our team. So this is my draft for 2025. This is my first draft. I'll put out some more, but is my initial one, and we'll see how things shake up in the free agency. And I will see you fans later. Keep looking out for Detroit Damon stuff, around draft time and even during the season. Peace.